Okay. I got some pretty exciting news. They saying that it's official that Terrance Bud Crawford and Canelo Alvarez is gonna fight in September. These boys is fighting. Um, this should be a legendary fight. I think that this fight is going to be what we thought that Spence versus Crawford was supposed to be. Because we all seen that fight. It was a one-sided ass whooping. I mean, Crawford went in there and just he just shocked the world. We never thought that he would just beat Earl Spence and batter him the way that he did. You know what I'm saying? We ain't seen Earl Spence since. He ain't even got back in the ring yet. He might have had retired Spence. We don't even know if Spence is even gonna look the same if he do when he does get back in the ring. You feel me? So Crawford is a stepper. He's a legendary fighter because Errol Spence was the truth. That was Errol Spence's only loss. Um, the only other close fight Errol Spence had was against Sean Porter. Everybody knows Sean Porter's a tough guy. You know what I'm saying? But back to Bud and Canelo. Canelo Alvarez. See, the issue is with this fight, a lot of Canelo fans feel like Crawford's too small because they seen Canelo, you know, a couple years ago fight one of them Charlo twins who jumped up a couple weight classes to fight Canelo, and dude was kind of, you know, um, running from Canelo. Just was gonna put it that way. He didn't want to. He felt a little power, and then after that, he was on his bike. Dude was, bobbing and weaving, and he wasn't really trying to win. He was just trying to survive. Trying to not to get knocked out in front of his peoples. That's what it looked like. You know what I'm saying? Um, but to me, they saying that it was the weight issue. But when I was looking at the build up to the fight, the boy looked like he was bigger than Canelo. So how much is the weight really an issue? How much is the weight an issue? He was taller than Canelo. He had a longer reach than Canelo, and he looked to be like his frame was heavier than Canelo's at the time. So he's one of those guys who used to weight drain himself just to fight in the lower weights, a lower weight. You feel me? So anyway, but Bud, you know what I'm saying? He coming up from really it's a 20-pound difference from where Bud was fighting at and to where Canelo has 4 belts undisputed, which is super middleweight. Bud is coming from welterweight. You know what I'm saying? Um, I've seen Bud lately. He looked big. In his last fight, he fought a tough Russian dude named Madrimov. Um, the guy gave Bud a whole lot of problems. Bud had to really fight this dude, and could have lost this fight if he hadn't won. Maybe if he had lost maybe a round or two more, he could have quite possibly lost that fight. You know what I'm saying? But he did. He dug deep in the end and he pulled it out. But Bud was in a higher weight class. This was his first fight going above welterweight. So he was fighting in super welterweight or something they call junior middleweight. The same thing. Super welterweight and junior middleweight is the same weight class. It's the 154-pound weight class limit. But that's not where Canelo's at. Canelo's 2 weight classes above that. So in actuality, Bud is going 3 weight classes total because he just jumped 1 weight class and fought this guy, you know. Um, and he didn't look too good in that fight. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, he looked good in the fight, but the other guy looked good too. We don't know how tough that guy is, but that guy had never lost a fight before. He was undefeated champion, so he was a good fighter. So that's my take on that. But on Canelo Alvarez, you know what I'm saying? Um, he been getting a lot of criticism the last few years because he has this other fighter named Mexican fighter named David Benavidez that had been calling him out. that is an excellent fighter in his own right, and that is in Canelo's weight class. But Canelo, from what the fans say, have been ducking and dodging this dude, and he fought a guy named Mungai. And Canelo said, well, this guy's undefeated. He fought Mungai, but people didn't want to see him fight Mungai because they knew he can beat Mungai. And he beat Mungai. He fought Berlanga. They talked that fight up. He's another guy that was undefeated that his first like 20 fights or something, I think he knocked everybody out in the first round, but he was fighting a bunch of bums. You know what I'm saying? But still, it was impressive to get everybody out in the first round. Canelo get in there with him. Canelo beat him up. You know what I'm saying? So he not fighting David Benavidez. You feel me? He not fighting the guy that everybody wants to see him fight. Let's just be real. That's who we want to see him fight. David. I think he may feel like David Benavidez is too big for him because when he fought Bivol, however you pronounce his name, the other Russian guy, um, I think Canelo feel like that dude, he lost that fight because that dude was just a little bit too big for him. And from looking at the fight, he did look too big for Canelo. You know what I'm saying? David Benavidez is a big guy. I don't know. But Bud and Canelo are around the same height. Bud got even longer reach. Canelo's the heavier guy. But lately, Bud has put on some muscle. So we're going to see how that rock out. You know what I'm saying? My prediction, I'm predicting that Bud Crawford wins in a close fight, 12 round unanimous decision, victory for Terrance Crawford. Y'all let me know who y'all think gonna win down in the comments. Canelo or Bud, who y'all got? Hood Topic TV signing out. Peace.